It's great to have your company again, Scorpio. How are you? Good? It's April 2023 and you notice here there's a bit of a change. It's got to do with our ruling planet Pluto having just made a move into Aquarius. It's going to stay there till June, move back out, and then January 2024 it's going to get back into Aquarius. But it's, in a sense, starting this very significant trek through your fourth house. What's the fourth house? Fourth house is your family. It's your genetic background. It's historicity. It's the basis for who you are. So of course, Pluto transiting this area, your ruling planet, must be a peak of your spiritual development, or at least this coming 10 or 12 years, maybe longer, will be an important part of your journey now. And it's going to be principally focused on the idea of family. Principally, I say, because there are other things which I'm going to address in our brief, but I hope profound reading for you today. What comes to mind firstly is, and I think you'll agree with me, that family is not always blood. Often, family are strangers who have an affinity with us on an emotional, an intellectual, or more importantly, a spiritual level. So your real family are those people who connect with you at the deepest soul level. Often we have to accept that the people in our family circle of influence, family in terms of our blood and genetics, are not necessarily going to be connected to us in the way we want them to be connected to us. You can strive, you can struggle, you can do everything, bend over backwards to please someone. Fourth house, by the way, is primarily one's mother in terms of the family members. And so it could be that if your mother is still in the picture, then this planet's transit, Pluto, is going to really shake things up. It's going to transform those relationships. As I said in one of the other star sign readings today, the preliminary transit of Saturn over the last couple of years through this same sign has just ended, just as this Pluto transit commences. It's interesting because Saturn is the principle of contraction. It shows you may have been in a situation for some time where you've not been able to feel comfortable space-wise, domestically, in terms of your familial interactions. And so that restriction, those points at which you don't feel comfortable with family members, has come to the surface. Now you're able to see it. Now you're asking, how the hell do I deal with it? I almost swore. How do I deal with that? Pluto is going to give you the means to do that. It's not always pleasant. Pluto is very destructive in some ways. It eliminates what's unnecessary. I say to many of my students and clients, to find your way forward is often not about figuring out what it is you have to bring in. It's about eliminating what you have to get rid of. It's about creating the space. Once that space is there, it's part of the universal process to suck in what's necessary. You've got to look at these problems fairly and squarely, eliminate them. You have to be ruthless to some extent, especially if you've been suffering in some of those relationships. Now, it doesn't mean you have to discard the family, but it does mean transforming the way you interact with those people, especially if you've become the victim in these interactions. So you can see this transit is really paving the way. Well, Saturn paved the way for this now even more important transit of Pluto over the coming years. And I hope you'll embrace those changes. There may be some changes in terms of where you live. Most importantly, above all of that, because I keep saying this, that home is where the heart is. Your true home is here. And it's going to be a sad thing if here is not a nice place to be. A lot of people aren't happy in themselves. A lot of people haven't found that peace, that settledness, that self-acceptance in here, this home. So I think as much as Pluto was going to force you into dealing with those relationships, with those significant others in your historic family, your domestic sphere, your relatives, it's really going to start working on this. It's going to be a spring cleaning here first, so you can eliminate those things in your own nature that are the precedental cause of any of the problems that you have with others. You have to look firstly at yourself, Scorpio, to eliminate those obstructions in the relationships you're having with others. At least you can say, I did my best. And then if it still doesn't work out, then ruthless measures are necessary to eliminate those things, those circumstances that you obviously can't change because others are not prepared to change, but at least you were prepared to change. There's more this month at astrology.com.au. Click on the links, find out more. Come back next month. In the meantime, subscribe. If you have a personal question, I'm here at your service. I'll see you next month. Take care. Bye-bye now.